Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarika. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment. So today we are doing a get ready with me chit chat video. So this is my final look, and if you want to see how I got this look, plus hear the tea on some buzzing topics, continue to watch and stay tuned. Alright, so I've already done like a get ready with me before, so I'm not going to talk too much about my makeup process since I've already kind of done one and I haven't really changed much. I'm using a different foundation, but that's literally about it. I have my mirror like down here, so sometimes you'll see me looking down just so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, so the first topic we're going to talk about while I kind of carve out my brows is comparing yourself to others on social media. So I feel like this is something that a lot of people struggle with, including myself. When I tell you that I literally used to struggle with this for years, I'm not even being dramatic. I had a really hard time with social media. Particularly in the early part of my 20s, I felt like I was always comparing myself to what I saw on social media. And I know that when we do that, we tend to, it's a really deflating experience to feel like you're not doing as well as someone on social media. But and I mean, to be honest, I've thankfully kind of gotten out of that. I don't really compare myself to people on social media anymore, which I'm really happy about. And I won't really have advice as to how to stop doing that, because I feel like it's really hard to tell someone like, just stop. Obviously, if you could stop, you would. But I will say that some things that helped me stop comparing myself to others on social media, you know, is to really just consider the fact that we're all on a different journey. And I know you hear that a lot, but it took me a long time to actually believe that. We're literally all on a different journey, and that's okay. So, you know, I used to get like so like down. Like I would see someone who's like, hey, I just graduated from like med school and now I'm a neurosurgeon, and I would be like, oh my gosh, like I'm not doing anything with my life. But why am I comparing myself to a neurosurgeon? Like, that person's on a totally different pathway that has nothing to do with my life, and that is fine. Like, I don't want to be a neurosurgeon. I have no desire to go to med school. That was just never a part of my plans. And so I would like step back and recognize that, you know, people have their own paths and these are things that they have worked towards, and I have no desire for that, and that is fine. And it doesn't invalidate my own pathway. The next thing that I realized was that when I compare myself to other people, I'm invalidating my own progress. So like, for example, you know, like when I first moved to Canada, you know, like I was pretty much starting over, and I would see someone like, again, let's say I use that same person. Also, I'm just making this up. This scenario is totally hypothetical, but let's say that like I see someone graduating from med school and they're now a neurosurgeon. I would be like, oh my gosh, they're better than me, you know. And then my partner would be like, well, you just got a new job, like in a new country. And I'd be like, yeah, but that's like not the same. And right there, I'm just invalidating the fact that I, you know, spent 2 weeks sending out my resume everywhere, doing interviews, getting offers from every single interview I did. Like, I totally invalidated that experience. And when you compare yourself to others, you don't honor your own like progress. And that's such a disservice to yourself. You know, like if you are experiencing depression, for example, and you got out of bed today, like you did that. And you should honor that. If you got a new job, that's amazing. If you walked 10,000 steps when your goal was only 8,000, you should be celebrating that. And that's why one of my goals for 2023 is to celebrate my small wins, to kind of honor the progress that I have been making, right? So when you compare yourself to people on social media, you don't give yourself the grace that you deserve. Like, we're doing amazing things every day. And I think that we consider amazing to be like, I don't know, all these extraordinary feats, when like in reality, I don't know how many people that I know do like extraordinary things every single day. Like, progress can sometimes be slow, but that doesn't mean that it's not progress or growth. So try to remember that when you are feeling like you're falling into that space. You know, like, write down the things that you've made progress in. I used to do that until I literally was like, wait a minute, like, I'm doing great. Like, I'm doing so great for myself. Like, I'm so proud of myself. And then the next thing to consider too, when you start comparing yourself to people on social media, is that a lot of the times the things that we're comparing ourselves to other people are like with, it's materialistic. We're usually like, that person got this new car, or that person bought a house, or that person is on this amazing trip, which are all like really great things. And, you know, obviously we have to honor the fact that that is amazing and that, yay, I'm so happy for them. However, it's dangerous if we start tying our self-worth to material objects, right? Like, why do you look at someone who has a new car and feel like inadequate about yourself, right? And I know that we've created like milestones that we think we need to achieve by a certain age, but that's totally made up. Like, you do not need to have a car by a certain age. You don't need to be married by a certain age. You don't need to have a kid by a certain age. Well, I guess the kid one is a little different, but we don't need to do all of these things that society has told us to do by a certain age, right? So when you look at someone who's driving a BMW, for example, and you're like, damn, like, they're just doing so well in life. Like, why can't I do well in life like that? Why can't I be like, you know, like that? But like, what? Driving the Benz? Like, how does that make you a better person? How does that improve who you are, right? Like, your self-worth, your self-esteem, you know, should be based on things that you can actually control on a day-to-day basis. Like, being a good person is something that I work on all the time. Like, it's great, you know, to have nice material things. I'm not saying that it's not. And, you know, when you can afford certain things, obviously it feels really good, but my self-worth isn't tied to that, right? So if I see someone who's driving a Benz or a Bentley or something, and, you know, I'm like, damn, why can't I have that? I have to step back and think, but why do I want it? Is it because someone else has it and I feel like if I have it too, then I'll look good to other people? Or will it actually make me a better person? Will it actually improve my life? And usually it's the first one. Like, if it's the first one, then you have to really like recognize that you're tying your self-worth to something, an object. And the danger with that is we might never be satisfied. You know, like, yeah, now we got the Benz, but then we see somebody else with a Birkin and we're like, damn, I don't have a Birkin. And then you start to feel badly about yourself again, because we're tying our self-worth to material things. So that's what I will say about comparing yourself to others on social media, is that you're on a different path. Don't compare your day 1 to someone's day 300. Try to recognize when you're tying your self-worth to someone else, like to a material object. And also, like, honor your progress and honor the things that you have achieved, no matter how small you may think they are. Like, I guarantee that 5 years ago, you were praying or you were hoping or asking for that very same thing. You know what I mean? Like, 10 years ago, like, if I could see myself now, I'd be like, ooh, like, you accomplished so many of the things that you wanted, right? So for me now to sit here and be like, oh, well, I haven't done anything, that's like slapping my younger self in the face, because the things I have now are the things that she wanted, right? And so there's nothing wrong with wanting more and continuing to set goals, but just be aware of where you are right now and honor that. Okay, so I'm gonna apply my primer. So, healing from long-term relationships. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this one will be, you know, more so like what I think would be helpful, because I've never actually had a super long-term relationship where I've broken up with the person or the person's broken up with me. So my last vlog, I told you, you would have seen I got the NARS Creamy Radiant Long Wear Foundation or whatever. So I think this color is a bit too like light for me. So I'm gonna use it today because I don't have any other foundation, but I might go back to Sephora and just get the shade one darker. This is Wahine. But I love the NARS formula. So I might give her a chance, because I've seen that Fenty has my shade on the actual website, but I don't want to wait forever to get my stuff, and Sephora ships fast, so I'm gonna try her. So you get to see kind of what it looks like, but just be aware that it is kind of light for me. Okay, so healing from long-term relationships. So I can only imagine kind of like how painful that would be. You know, like this is someone you have kind of built a routine around. You may have even lived with the person. And you know, obviously you break up for different reasons, but whatever the reason is, it doesn't make it, you know, less painful, even if you knew that you had to do it or it had to be done. So I will offer some like maybe uninformed advice. So my first thing would be starting to create a new routine, right? So a lot of the small things in my life, when I think about, you know, like I do with my partner, I know I look crazy because it's like way too bright for me. But with the like bronzer and stuff, it will hopefully look a bit better. So anyway, ignore that. So anyway, I was saying, like, try and make new routines is my first piece of advice. So, you know, I do so many things with my partner. Oh my God, I look like a ghost. Okay, I literally look I can't. Okay, so let's say your routine was to, you know, maybe watch TV every evening with your partner. Like you had your shows that you watched. Yeah, obviously when you come home now, that routine is no longer there. So I would suggest, you know, maybe kind of shifting who you do those things with. So, you know, instead of it being like your partner, maybe you could have friends over and you watch that show with them. Other things that you might have done, like you could also shift your friends. Obviously there's certain things that just wouldn't work, but for a lot of the routines that we have with our partners, we could actually just shift it to other people in our lives until we feel like we can handle them on our own. The next thing I would do is therapy. I think I said this in my last Get Ready With Me. I think therapy can be so helpful, especially when you are making a huge transition in your life and you are trying to figure out how to cope, because you know, you're used to doing certain things a certain way and now you no longer have that stability in your life. So I think therapy is a really good way to help with that transition. I know that this next suggestion is probably a temporary one, but distractions. I think distracting yourself can be so helpful when you're trying to get over someone. Damn, my foundation is so light that my like concealer basically looks the same. LOL. Anyway, I feel like distracting yourself, like, you know, but not, yeah, so distracting yourself. So like, for example, you don't want to stay inside all the time, because that's when you're left with your thoughts and you're really having to kind of think a lot about what you've been through. So when you can, go out, do something that you like to do, preferably outside. But if you can inside, baking, reading, knitting, you know, try and surround yourself with things that you like to do. And I think that'll also help you to figure out who you are apart from your partner, because your identity and who you are has been tied to them for so long. Sometimes you might forget who we are. That being said, you still have to deal with the emotions. You don't want to distract yourself to the point where you're literally not dealing with what you're going through. So please also deal with the pain, like feel it, because I feel like you can't actually move on if you don't feel that pain from the breakup, right? So you don't want to distract yourself so much that you are literally fake happy all the time. Really try sometimes to find that balance between feeling that pain but also distracting yourself. I would also surround myself with people who I consider my support system. I'm gonna need a lot of support in that moment. So my friends, my family, whoever I trust, you know, this is your time to shine, and I'm going to really rely on you to help me get through this. So I hope that was somewhat helpful. And then one thing I have done in the past is taking things one step at a time. Instead of being like, oh, I just want to be happy, I want to get to the point where I don't think about this person. I want to just be like, I want to just get through today. So today my goal is to go to work, I want to grade some assignments, and then I want to come home. That's my goal. And I kind of check that list off day by day. And then you're gonna realize it's been like 3 months, 6 months, a year, and you've gone through life now for that long without this person when you didn't even think you could do it. And it's been a year. So that's kind of some of my advice for kind of healing from a long-term relationship. I hope that was kind of helpful. So, okay, yeah, what do I think about Rihanna'S performance while pregnant? So I saw a lot of people like criticizing her and saying it wasn't good and comparing her to Beyonce. And I'm here to tell you, like, why are we putting two baddies against each other? Like, huh? Like, they're in such a totally different lane. They are totally different artists. They have totally different styles. And I think that we should not be comparing women. Like, we shouldn't be comparing women who are totally different, especially, to each other, because what is the point of that? I thought her performance was so good. I already knew that it wasn't going to be like theatrical and like lots of tricks. I knew it was just gonna be like a lovely, nostalgic performance to just enjoy the songs that I grew up on with her. And I think that she did an amazing job. Like, I've never been pregnant, so I can't even imagine what it is like to do an entire Super Bowl performance while pregnant. And she was on those like those elevated things. Like, I was so impressed. I think it was really great. She did that without being pregnant. I would have been like, yay, I love it. So I don't know why people are upset. Honestly, touch some grass. Speaking of Beyonce, the next topic was, what are my thoughts about Beyonce's new album? All right, y'all. So I love Renaissance. That's literally my answer. I don't even know if I need to discuss. I'm going to see her this year because I am obsessed with that album. I literally listen to it, I want to say almost every single day. Like maybe on the way to school, maybe on the way home from school, if I'm like cooking, if I'm cleaning, Renaissance is on. And like my partner can attest to the amount of times he has heard that song, that album. Like I'm obsessed. And I'm so happy I'm gonna get to see her perform the album because I feel like my life is going to be made. Like, hello? That's all I have to say. Those are my comments. Those are my thoughts. I have nothing else on that topic. Okay, so the next topic is my thoughts about the soft life. Soft girl versus like a baddie. Because two different vibes. Okay, so let me just look up what soft life actually means. Okay, so the soft life refers to a lifestyle of comfort and relaxation with minimal challenges or stress. Some people use the term in reference to a life that involves wealth and luxury, while others interpret it as simply being a simplified life unburdened from stress and responsibilities. I like that they make that distinction because I feel like soft life has become like this, like has become equated with luxury, and I don't know why that has to be the case. So in terms of like soft girl versus like baddie, I feel like why not both? I feel like a baddie could also have a soft life because I'm gonna interpret the soft life as a life kind of like free from stress and problems. And I think that we think soft life, again, based on like the TikToks and the IG reels and things like that, we think soft life means like you are making bank and you live in a life of luxury. And I mean, that could be your soft life, but I mean, like if the soft life for you is just like going to yoga because that de-stresses you and drinking a green juice after, why not? You know, and I think bad girls do that too, baddies do that too. So I feel like you can be both. And again, do not compare yourself to others on social media. You know that what your soft life looks like might be different from other people. So I feel like with that, you can literally do as you please. For me, the soft life, as I said before, is just leading a life free from stress, because I do not want a stressful life. I want a problem-free life. Oh my goodness, like I feel like this, the face is just like, let me see if I could turn the lighting down. Okay, I'm back. So I just got my hair ready to get curled. It looks kind of crazy right now, but yeah, so I'm gonna do my best because I usually need my full bathroom mirror to do this. I'm gonna attempt to do it on camera. It's like, or the topic was reflection on the year so far. So I actually feel like the year has been going really well so far. I make a vision board every year, things that I want to accomplish, and last year I accomplished a lot of them. A lot of the goals I had or set for myself. I made new goals, and you know, so far I feel like I've accomplished a couple, but like this year I really made it the year about me. The year to be selfish, but not like a selfish person, just like focus on the things I want for myself, my goals, things from in different spheres of my life. So that could just be like my career, I have certain goals, my relationships, I have certain goals, for my YouTube channel I have certain goals, and the fact that I, you know, sat down and did that, I'm so proud of myself. And I think that the year has been going like well so far. And I'm gonna kind of just manifest that the rest of the year will be great. Now what I'm gonna do is like curl, speed through the section, and then talk about the last topic. So enjoy. I finished curling my hair, so the last topic, while I'm just gonna do like I'm gonna use my flat comb to kind of just flatten down the top. So the last topic I'm gonna talk about is how will content creation affect the future in terms of more people doing it than 9 to 5s. That's a really interesting topic. So I feel like a lot of people right now, when they start out like me, like doing content creation or anything, they usually have another job, and like the content creation is done on the side in addition to. And I think obviously 10 years ago, no one could ever conceive that people would be making money through content creation like as a full-time job. But I think I don't know if more people are going to do content creating than having 9 to 5s. I think it'll just become more normalized. I think brands and companies will continue to see the value of content creators as the time goes by. And you know, they might have like an in-house content creator, just like literally a person who's hired just to do, or multiple to do these marketing things for them. More people who do content creating, you know, will obviously have brands, and those brands will be focused around content creation, whether through them or people that they outsource to. I don't know if it will get to the point where, as I said before, content creation is more common than like a 9 to 5, because there's so many careers out there, whereas content creation is like one type of career. So, you know, like content creating is, or influencing, or whatever you want to call it, is one career path. But then you have like, you know, you could be a teacher, a doctor, pilot, an engineer, like digital marketer. Like you have all of these other careers. So I don't think content creating as one career could kind of like take over or become more populous than other careers. I just think that it'll be continue to become more normalized, more integrated within current careers, current brands. People continue to showcase and educate what they do through content creating. I think that content creating can like overlap with other things that people do. So I think it will just continue to grow. And as I said, 10 years ago, we couldn't have expected it to be like this now. And so I don't even know what it would look like in 10 years. It's probably going to be more advanced, you know, more like adaptable, more expansive. Like we're gonna be doing things that we couldn't even foresee in 2023. So that's it for like the discussion. My hair is done now. I told y'all like the makeup doesn't look that crazy, right? Like you can see it's still light, but I don't look like a ghost anymore. So I'm gonna put on my outfit and then I will be back to say bye. All right, so I changed. I'm gonna actually just like take a video of the full outfit, but the bodysuit and the skirt are from Fashion Nova. The boots are from Simi London. And my fragrances today, I'm mixing C by Giorgio Armani, and then Ebony Woods, which I got from Zara. And then I rub this like little Nest Golden Nectar fragrance because it has like a ball tip. I just rub it like on my wrist area so that it kind of smells nice there. In terms of my bag, I'm wearing my Coach bag. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to leave a comment and like, and I will see you in the next one.